Greetings, adventurers. Welcome to Have Dice Will Save. Pathfinder 2nd Edition adventure where my fucking friends say stupid things right before the stream starts.
Yay! Hi, guys!
We did it. We're a group of people that can legitimately be kind of disappointed going, oh, all my swords are in storage.
True.
Darn.
Come join us in finding new swords.
So, thank you for joining us today. I'm a little out of sorts, so please forgive any slow-wittedness that might occur. There's been a lot of working this weekend. So, we're gonna jump right into it after a couple of quick things. First of all, next week, we will not be having an episode of our normal campaign because I am going to be in Pennsylvania at Colossal Con East, where I will be working a lot there too. But if anyone happens to be in Pennsylvania and wants to come talk to me at Colossal Con East, that'd be sweet.
You should also bring Dave lots and lots of coffee. He's
I don't
going to
drink
need
coffee.
it.
Bring him
So you should
diet,
bring me lots of Diet
caffeinated
Coke.
soda.
Okay, fine. Diet soda and coffee.
Anyway, so instead we will be showing you a one-shot run in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, run by our own Charlie, which should be a pretty good time. So come and watch that. Watch how hilariously rusty all of us are at Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, because it's going to be great.
It's going to be dangerous.
Anyway, so
Get
is
your
there anything
tetanus
else
shots
that we need
updated.
to go over? No. Okay.
No.
Then,
No.
everybody, take a deep breath, because here we go. So, last time on Have Dice Will Save, our adventurers woke up in a root cellar owned by a certain woman who, we shall say, disabled them magically.
Kicked our ass.
She killed us dead.
Kicked
Destroyed
our
you with
asses.
harm spells. They learned that this woman was Tirla Ilzal, a cleric of the Lady with Crimson Eyes, who had since become involved with a figure known as the Bramble Man. For sparing their lives, she sent the party out to retrieve a few small trinkets of little value. And they set back out first to Adeland and then eastward. Sorry, directions. Eastward toward the little town of Bradford. Along the way, Emmeline had
Bad time.
we'll say a disturbing dream where voices whispered to her. But otherwise, some people established monasteries and or fan clubs, and some people reconnected with their younger brothers, and some people, I think, forgot about their in process cider casks, which are probably still in certain inns in Adeland, but that's okay. We'll get back there eventually.
You left your baby in Adeland? How dare you?
It will be finished.
But
So,
baby
It's
grew.
safe.
at this point, everyone has just stopped for the night on the road to Bradford. Just after crossing the Adal River. So is there anything you all would like to do before going to sleep for an evening?
We're stopping in Bradford or outside of Bradford?
Outside.
You are still almost a day away
Yeah.
from Bradford.
Right.
I'm gonna be wrapping my wrists with the new cloth that we got
Okay.
and
You
meditating.
will be investing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you would add, I believe there's a spot on your sheet for invested items. Add that. Also, remember your headband is an invested item, so add that as well. Okay, so you are now invested with the cloth, meaning that your unarmed attacks will be getting +1 to their attack rolls, not their damage.
Okay.
I'm going to be practicing with the new warhammer.
Okay. Given that you are not proficient with the warhammer, your practice, you swing a warhammer.
I'm practicing.
Sure.
He's getting better, you guys.
Someday you'll be proficient. Maybe.
We'll see.
I'm going to be doing performance practice.
Okay. Okay. So, how are you all watching through the?
Well, I found a very weird thing on my arm.
On your arm.
What?
What kind of thing?
I'm gonna show you guys my left arm, and it has a newly grown red thorn on it.
Wait, no. Let me see that. Runs over to like forcefully grabs your arm. I'm gonna make an occultist check.
Okay.
I mean, I probably
Are
don't
you
even
allowing
need-
Emmeline to forcefully grab your arm?
I'm tense, but
Sure.
Actually, I should
yeah, I
be
think
rolling
my arm
green
might
dice
have
for
tensed
this.
up, but I'm like gonna kind of try to calm down because
Sure.
it is my cousin.
She's doing
I was just
great.
saying,
Oh, good.
technically, you theoretically would have something to say about that, but you can not have something to say.
So occultism is for oddity identification.
Yeah.
Applies here. So 23. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. You say your occultism is 4, you mean your bonus is 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought for a minute you said your roll was 4, and I was like, you're getting a +19 to this.
As it turns out, she's really good.
Because reasons.
Okay. And you are attempting to identify the mark.
Yeah. It also
Or
in
signs of an
comparison
occult
to the one that Emmeline has.
Yeah, it is definitely identical. Well, not identical. It is definitely of a kind with the thorns that you have seen on yourself and now also Tila.
Is like tattoo.
Yes, it looks very much like a bright crimson tattoo.
How did you get this?
It just grew on my arm.
When?
I do not know, cousin. Is everything all right? You seem tense, cousin.
Little M, what do you know about this?
This is related to the cult things that we've been dealing with a lot with the brambles and things. It's an emblem that shows up. It's emblem. It's
Why does
Represent-
she have emblem?
this is what I would like to know.
Big M. Do you have
Yes,
connection
Ivan.
to cult?
Not
She's been in
the-
a monastery for years. She can't possibly have come across this.
All right, everybody, sleeves up. I'm gonna push my sleeves up.
Okay.
Check my arms.
On your left arm, just above the wrist, is a small red thorn.
Ah, fuck.
When seeing that she has one, I'll check mine too.
This is yours.
Could be from Lyric Lady.
Yeah, most likely.
What does mean?
Are we in a cult?
I don't think that's how that works, Amelie. I think you...
It probably is just representative.
Is that how it works?
I hope not. Checks
She's scribbling
check
notes in her book.
She probably just casted something on us when we were unconscious. Like, it's probably just a ritual. Some sort of...
Detect magic on it?
It is magical. Speaking of which, all of you are currently invested in these bramble marks, in addition to your other magical items.
Oh, good.
3 of the bramble marks.
Is Ring of Rings invested?
Yes.
Alright. Got to ask that.
You don't get a choice. You are always invested in these bramble marks.
Invested for what? For how much?
For one, you have a
Okay.
maximum of 10 items to be invested in at a given time.
So it's just a yes or no, check or not?
Yes.
Check or X?
You are either
Okay.
invested or not.
Where does this go?
Sweet.
Is there a
Yeah.
column for that?
Is it under worn items?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it goes under worn items.
Oh.
And then there's a column in there where you check off whether it's invested. So I don't think you can just wake up and have joined a cult. Unless maybe if you got super drunk the night before.
It was one time.
Okay, Ivan, good to know, noted.
It was not actual cult.
Was it really only one time, Ivan?
It was only one time that it was not real cult. It was just lots of drinking. And then maybe make religion around drinking.
What is the difference between a real cult and a fake cult?
I don't know.
Then how did you know it was not a real cult?
It did not put thorn on arm.
Ah, okay.
Right. Moving on. So now do you have one, Emmeline?
Cousin, why did you curse?
I was really hoping this was just gonna sneak past me.
No.
No!
Sorry, Paul.
We're your
Bastard.
friends! We're supposed to know weird things about you.
Correct
we're
me if
supposed to
I'm
notice
wrong,
other weird
Emmeline's
things
is
about
on
you.
her right arm, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
On my stabbing arm.
And mine is on my left arm, right?
Yes, everyone else's appears to be on their left arms.
Ah!
I need a devious check. How devious am I feeling?
Well, here's a good question. Have you looked at your left arm?
I have not.
Okay.
But it's still relevant of
Sure.
whether or not how devious I'm feeling. Feeling pretty devious today. Okay, I'm gonna pull up my left arm and show that theoretically I don't have a mark.
Oh, but you do.
And
Damn.
It is a single red thorn.
So,
So,
we all
she's gonna
have
pull
We
her-
all have
a single red thorn on our left arm.
is all magical too.
So, I'm not even gonna bother rolling for this. Like, she looks visibly surprised that she has a red thorn on her arm. Just like, what?
Well, I mean, if all of us have it on our arms, it kind of stands to reason you
They
have it on
are
your arm
magic
too.
of some kind. I can tell.
It is okay, cousin. I was disconcerted when I first found mine, too.
Right. Okay. So,
Why do you never use name? Do you not remember little M name?
My cousin's name is Emmeline.
You never use name.
Cousin, would you prefer to be that I call you Emmeline or cousin?
Emmeline would be preferred.
Okay, Emmeline.
Does not answer question, but I suppose problem solved.
In the monastery, we really did not use names. We normally use titles.
Monastery sounds boring.
It was very boring.
Ah, we agree. I knew I liked you. So, magic thorn on arm. Probably put there by weird witch lady.
Yeah.
We are on mission for weird witch lady. Maybe is not issue?
Seems at least slightly problematic until we find out what likely caused them and trigger them.
She did say she'd be able to get in touch with us when she needed to give us information about the next item. Maybe this is how?
Can she listen?
I don't know.
Weird
I
witch
hope not.
lady, if you are listening, Thorn is not okay. I do not want Thorn.
There's no response to speak of. There's some crickets that are slightly louder than you remembered them being a minute ago, but
The thing that concerns me is, you saw when she was casting magic during the combat. You just saw
Duh.
thorns crawling up her sides.
It was similar magic to what I do. It was.
In what way?
She was cleric.
Do thorns usually grow on your arms?
No. That is not part of cleric.
Might be now.
Do you know in which way she might be a different cleric?
Well, she used her power to kill, while I use my hands to kill.
She's also more associated with this god than I did.
Also, was really good cleric.
At least better than 4 of us.
Okay.
So,
Right.
do we just go on as usual? What about your lamp thing? Does that...
I will shine my lamp on the thing.
it is neither a life-threatening disease nor a life-threatening poison.
It just shows up green.
Yeah.
life-threatening something, that's for sure.
It might be threatening your life, but
As
not by
far as
disease or
lamp is
poisoning.
concerned, we are fine. Is no poison, disease, no damage. Is simply us. However, is magic. You can see, yeah?
No, not right now.
Huh. Try.
Not sure that's such a
Try
good
to
idea.
see magic. You
Okay.
did earlier.
I guess I will try and cast Detect Magic. Is it magic?
Roll occultism. See if you can intentionally cast this spell.
Ooh. How does a 20 or 21 sound?
Yeah, you cast it twice by accident.
I'm seeing so many words.
See, is magic.
Do the thorns glow at all? On the brambles at all?
Like physically?
Yeah, well, with Detect Magic.
Yes,
They emanate-
they are clearly magical. They have
When
a distinct
I
aura.
detect magic,
Yeah.
do I notice his other thorns?
You are aware that there are other magical auras in the area.
But I
Detect Magic in this system is a little bit different.
Okay.
And that is much less specific. There's
So-
another one named Read Auras, which is a cantrip that allows you to focus on the aura of a specific thing.
so I can tell that these are magic with detect magic when I'm
Yes.
focusing on them, but I
in
can't.
that you can tell there is magic in the distinct direction of your arm right now.
But anything else would the fact that we have so few magical items
Yes.
would mask anything. Okay.
Yeah, would make it much more difficult to distinguish.
Sure. I'm not looking for them. I just. Okay.
later levels, I think. It's
The
more
see
specific.
you can feel magic on the.
Yeah. Yeah. It's strange.
Maybe Thorn does something with you.
I don't know.
Make
Any
you
of the
more.
rest of you?
Can either of you try and see magic?
I can't.
I'm gonna roll on
But
something.
try see
Sure.
magic.
I
I
can't.
rolled a 7.
We
I thought I
don't
rolled
know.
a nat 1.
Little M could not either, and now can. It's
rolled-
worth test, huh?
I don't know what would I be testing?
Religion, maybe, to attempt divine magic.
Okay, so that would be a 12.
I'm gonna try a cult.
You follow some of the sort of like motions that you have seen used to cast divine magic before, but it does not seem to do anything.
I'm doing magic question mark. Is this how you do it, guys?
I don't have religion trained, so I don't even think I could test anything for that.
You have occultism trained.
Okay,
Yeah.
try
You
occultism.
can attempt occultism to forcibly activate detect magic.
11.
You don't seem to detect magic any more than you normally would.
Nope.
You don't know the detect
Nothing.
magic spell, do you?
No.
Yeah, that's why you kept saying it.
Yeah.
That'd be really funny if you actually could. It's like, oh, this just got awkward.
Yeah.
That escalated quickly.
I do not know.
But something has to have caused. Well, we know who
Duh.
caused it. So do we just ignore them for now?
I would say keep them in the back of our minds.
You do not think of anything else we can do.
Yeah.
We
There's
could
no-
try cut them out.
Seriously?
It's worth a shot.
Okay, I say there's not much other than cutting part of our arm off
I can heal.
that we can do right now. So maybe we leave them alone, keep note of any changes, and set up a watch rotation.
Tries to keep a very straight face about my right arm.
If it gets worse, I cut out.
And maybe, keep note and see if thorns show up anyplace else or anything.
Right. So, we just call it for the night then?
I will take first watch.
I'll go second.
We'll take third.
Very good.
Okay. So, you set up your watch rotation and your camp and settle in for the evening. Here on the space. It's a fairly, it's not a small piece of ground between the road and the river, but close enough that you're sort of wedged between the road and the gently flowing Adel River. If you are going first, then Amelie, if you would roll the perception.
8.
Okay.
This night's real quiet.
Yep.
I think I'm a little too distracted by the new thorn on my arm.
Yeah. You don't notice anything in particular. Your watch passes fairly uneventfully. There's the sound of animals around, but none that seem particularly close or particularly threatening. Once or twice you see a fish jump out of the water of the Adel River. And then
Yeesh.
it's spawning season after all. Who was second?
Me.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Got the perception rolls on today.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So 12. You notice that there's
oh no, 13. I'm sorry.
you notice that there are more animals maybe than you're used to around, though that might be because you're in a more rural area than you usually get to. And maybe just faintly because the moon is still so full. Coming just 3 days after the fullness of Aileron's larger moon. you notice maybe that there's a sort of a haziness in the eastern sky. But otherwise, your watch passes quietly.
Emmeline spends a lot of her watch comparing. Once she's sure everybody else is asleep, she's going to pull up her dueling glove and kind of compare the two brands that she has and try and see any differences on them. And because of that, my perception's only 9.
Okay. You are appropriately distracted by this process. And you, if anything odd happens around you, you certainly don't notice it. The two sets of marks, or the single mark versus the set of marks on your right arm.
Yeah.
They definitely seem very similar.
Okay.
Currently, you only have the one on your right that is still red.
On the on the right, yeah, I have one that is red, and
I think you're on 4.
Yeah.
That are burned in.
Oh, I have 3, but
okay,
might have
yeah, no,
counted
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. I think your count is correct.
Okay. So 1 burned in and 3 empty.
Well, no, one that hasn't burned into a brand yet. One that's still in its tattoo form, its crimson tattoo, and 3 that have already been expended and burned into brands.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks almost identical to the one that remains red on your right arm. The angle is a little bit different. The, sort of curvature of it is slightly different, but in terms of style and workmanship, it looks like they're of the same thing.
Okay. And it's not burned in. It's not been consumed.
No, it has not been
Okay.
consumed.
Cool. Yet.
So, you fall back to sleep, or you've already gotten your sleep because you're the last watch. You watch in through the dawn as 2 moons disappear over the horizon and the sun rises. And as the morning comes, clouds have started to roll in, so that the last moments of moonlight were obscured by a pale gray.
Yeah.
And as morning fully dawns, the sun's light is diffused through not aggressive, but certainly heavy-looking clouds. And shortly after dawn, as the party wakes up and begins their morning preparations, gentle rain begins to fall.
I am going to, when I take my, since I was last watch, and I get up, I'm going to spend my watch time just preparing my spells and everything.
Sure.
When people get up, I'm going to...
Well, technically, Emmeline was last watch.
Yeah.
Because you only needed 3
okay.
watch rotations to hit the 8 hours, right?
I am okay with this.
Ding.
So you just got to
So then I get up, I'm going to go, and I am going to use Read Aura
Okay.
on the
Okay.
horn.
Let's pull up the text of Read Aura just to make sure that we get it absolutely correct.
Sure. You see me stare at my thing and for about a minute make some gestures and start muttering
Is that
in Dwarvish.
as a cantrip or as
That is a cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You focus on the target object, opening your mind to perceive magical auras. When the casting is complete, you know whether the item is magical, and if it is, you learn the School of Magic. It is a necromancy effect.
based on the potion? That sounds up.
I look and go, odd.
Hmm?
Is some kind of necromancy.
While he's doing that, I'll make breakfast.
The more you concentrate it, you also get this odd bit of there's a couple of sort of sub auras beneath it. It is clear that the overall effect is necromancy, but there also seems to be components of divination.
Can I tell what kind of magic it is?
Oh, what tradition?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It wouldn't be possible to necessarily tell what tradition created it.
Okay, so I don't know if it's like divine or arcane or.
You can.
So necromancy?
Makes sense if was put on us by necromancer.
Hmm. Start handing out breakfast.
Yay, food.
You can roll a crafting check if you want breakfast to be spectacular, but then you risk also breakfast being lousy. It will allow you to make perfectly average breakfast without a roll.
Spectacular breakfast, guys.
22.
22?
It's
That's
so
some
good.
good food. I will give you all some morale bonus
Yay.
to your traveling. You'll
Hooray.
travel a little with a little more pep and confidence, and it sort of also seems to like help soothe away some of the anxiety of the previous night.
Anxiety of the, oh god, we all have thorns, we're all gonna die.
Yes.
I already had that, but.
Well.
Does Read Aura only show you specifically what you're focusing on?
Yes.
Okay. Live to fight another day.
So. Necromantic magic. Bite, bite,
Duh.
bite, 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 bite.
I am eating as well. Duh. It's some kind of necromancy.
Huh. I guess that makes sense. Bite, 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 chew, bite, bite, bite. Love it.
Makes
If
sense
was-
for-
It was if cast by necromancer lady makes sense, though. She trying to bring people back from dead.
We're not dead.
No.
Yet.
Surprise, you're all zombies.
Surprise, motherfuckers. No, I'm kidding. But remember, the thorns were on her arm, right?
They were on like
Most of
it's
them
like
are.
on neck. It looked like.
It's
They
possi-
probably had started on her arm, but
Yeah.
they had grown all the way up.
So will we get powers like hers?
I pray not.
See, that was out of character.
Why are you whispering, cousin?
Totally in character.
So is anyone doing anything?
You have to make a
Well, I'm-
deception check on that, by the way.
Maybe to not say that out
I mean,
loud?
well, no, that was clearly a
was
Paul
out of
thing.
character.
Is anyone particularly focusing on seeing if Emmeline is lying to them? I guess. Does anyone
No.
feel they have a reason to doubt Emmeline?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
not really.
Also,
And no,
I-
you don't have to make a deception check.
I also
Y'all are fools.
how dare you deceive me like this? How dare you? I also I meditated before breakfast. Just
Sure.
putting that out there.
Yeah, that's,
Putting it
you
in the
don't.
ether.
Part of your morning preparations while the casters are preparing
Okay.
their spells would be to do your normal training and focusing exercises.
This is for your
And I
best
will
interest,
also
Omni.
use that on the other thorns while we're eating, just to confirm that they're all.
Yes, they're all similarly necromantic with odd little bits of divination magic.
And he doesn't notice the ones on Emmeline's right arm?
No, because you
Okay.
can't see them or focus on them.
Okay.
Targeting them.
Can I
Okay.
roll either occultism or bardic lore to recall any information about this kind of thing?
Sure. Either of the above will suffice.
All right, they're both the same modifier.
Yes.
So going out on a limb, I probably won't be able to do much, but worth a shot. 18.
You've heard of marks as part of some kind of, of ritual power before. Marks can be both the result of a ritual or part of being a participant in a ritual. this
So-
could theoretically be either of them.
Marks can. I've heard of marks before being used as a part of a ritual, as part of being a participant, or as a result of a ritual, as a result of participating in a ritual. I don't remember participating in a ritual, but I was kind of unconscious for a good bit of time. And so I could have participated in a ritual that I didn't know I participated in.
Looks like foreign lady's doing.
Well, we can probably ask her some questions about it when we meet her after getting the item. So, in the meantime, Bradford's a bit of a way away. So.
We should get moving.
Okay. You set out on the road again? If you could decide both sort of who is front and back and who is piloting perception
I'll
checks. for
take
this
front
journey.
as normal.
I'll take the back.
Okay. And who is running the perceptions for this first?
I'll probably also
Part
be
of the
doing perception since I'm in front.
Okay.
That's a nat 1.
Yeah, buddy.
18 for you total,
Mm-hmm.
and natural 1 anomaly.
I don't know this shit.
Yeah.
You got 3 people in front of you. You can't see anything.
You, Amelie, we'll start with you. You find it kind of disturbing and distracting knowing that this mark has appeared on you.
Okay.
Part of being a monk of the Bladed Palm, there are marks that are used as a part of the Order of the Bladed Palm. Tattoos and things, indications of accomplishment. And it is normally forbidden for a monk of the Bladed Palm to take tattoos that are outside of those things. So it's disconcerting that one was either put on you against your will or just appeared out of nowhere. In either case, it feels definitely wrong. And that thought captivates you for the first half of the day.
It also makes me wonder, what exactly I did or didn't do to get that thorn. Because since not the thorn, but like the tattoo, because since I had to do something in order to get the other tattoos, did I do something?
Is this recognition of some achievement or wrongdoing?
The achievement of dying.
You got your ass whipped. Here's your participation trophy.
Surprise! You actually did die in the fight.
For everyone else, the trip at first is, it's a little colder and more damp than you might have wanted. The rain continues. It's still gentle. It's not soaking or anything, but it's definitely making the trip a little bit.
My shoes are squirchling. I hate it when my shoes squirchel.
Scorchling?
Squirchel.
Ah. Wait.
I will
Out of-
I will just like sing a marching song in Dwarvish.
Sure. Which goes hi ho, hi ho.
Mostly.
Okay. I won't finish that because I'm not getting demonetized by Disney for this shit. Right. So,
Question.
yeah.
Do I have shoes?
Yes. You have sandals.
I have what?
You wear sandals.
Sandals. Okay. Do they scorchel?
No. They're
Oh,
not
okay.
particularly absorbent.
Okay. Scorch.
The mud under them makes a slight scorching sound.
At some point, I'm like,
It's a
"Screw
fun
this,"
noise.
Take off my slippers, shove them in my bag.
This is why Emmeline wears designer boots that go up to her knees.
But isn't she worried about them getting all muddy and dirty?
No, they're adventure designer boots.
Oh, excuse me.
I spent a lot of money on them, okay?
Excuse
like
me.
20
Functional chic. Anyway.
I know a leatherworking guy. He'll fix them. It's fine.
Turns out, sealskin cloaks and such, pretty good at keeping the water out.
Pretty good at keeping the water out.
Turns out if you go inside covered in snow, you don't want it to melt and make you soaking.
Yes. you being the least distracted by this of anyone in the group, Ivan, you notice that the further east you're going, the more there's a sort of a haziness to the sky. And it seems to be under the cloud ceiling.
It does not look like weather. It looks like...
No, it definitely looks like something there. It's got this sort of grayness to it.
Detect magic?
It's much too far away to be within the
Okay.
range of your
There
detective
must be
vision.
something there that wasn't there before.
Okay, remember about not getting demonetized by Disney?
Don't
That
poke
thing
the
we
mouse.
were really trying not to do.
We love you, Disney. That's why we're quoting your
Yeah,
stuff.
Disney does not need our love.
Disney?
They do not care about
Disney?
our emotions.
Protected under parody law. Fuck you.
Okay,
We're gonna move
onward.
on now.
Please don't fuck us, Disney.
Ward,
that was a
Ward,
joke.
Ward.
We like you. It's all out of love.
Oh.
We're all gonna wake up tomorrow with a mouse-shaped brand.
We are the sharpest.
Moving
dogs.
on. This doesn't lead anywhere good. It leads far away from our campaign.
Okay.
So you see that this haze is sort of slowly thickening. When the rain picks up a little bit, the haze does seem to thin a little more, as though the falling rain is kind of pulling it down with it.
Does anyone else see haze in the sky?
When pointed out, you all can clearly
Looks
see that.
off.
Being from the city, I don't think I would have much point of reference
I would notice the haze.
Pre-industrial revolution.
for that. Very, very.
City sky, much like country sky before you have factories, as it turns out.
Oh, that's fair. Also, I have nature now.
But beyond the rain and the haze, you can roll nature if you'd like to attempt to identify this, but that's up to you.
Can I roll religion, or would that not be applicable?
No, it's not applicable in this case. I mean, you could roll religion to make sure it's not, something sent by the gods to punish you. I'll give it to you. It's not something sent by the gods to punish you.
Surprise!
So, beyond the rain and the odd haze in the distance, the journey is fairly pleasant. You've crossed the Adal River in its branch that goes further west into Lake Adal. And you're continuing to travel along it after it has branched out, where the southern end becomes the Wolfwater, for which the town of Wolfwater further south is named. And the north end continues onward up into the foothills of the outer mountains. So you get some water to travel by, and that's always nice. And there's a little bit less sort of ambient, distracting nature noise, because many animals have scurried into burrows and dens to escape the rain. But as the midday comes, the constancy of the rain has started to become less unpleasant and more like sincerely inconvenient. And as we move past the midday, the other two of you to help perception checks for the second half of the day.
You wet, drippy, miserable halfling
Yes.
will make a perception check.
Gotta get a nice rain cloak.
Oh yeah, natural 20
Okay.
for a total of... What the hell is my 27?
Jeez. I have 24.
Okay. Well, both of you definitely pick up as you move forward, even though the rain has, toward the second half of the day, picks up further to the point that it's less of a consistent shower and moving more toward hard rain. In spite of that, and in spite of the slow dimming of the light as you move through afternoon, the haze is definitely thickened the further east you go. And both of you start to realize that it seems to be coming from a steady and contained source of smoke.
Oh.
To be noticed this far off, it would have to be a large source of smoke, but it does not seem to be. How do I put this? It's not. It's dispersing outward evenly, meaning that it's got a single source.
Yeah.
So something east of you has been burning long enough that you've been seeing it all day.
Wow.
And it always is producing this dark grayish black.
Is it me or is there a big fire roughly that way?
And you specifically at this point, because of your natural 20, you can smell a slightly acrid smelling smoke on the air.
Oh, ew.
You've traveled enough to know this is the scent of industry.
Oh, okay, factory.
Less factory, more probably large smelting operation.
Someone's
Forge blacksmith.
Someone's smelting something.
More likely an ore smelting operation, given that Bradford is a mining town.
Roughly that away.
Well, is like mines.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Bradford, yeah, Bradford.
Mining
Okay.
town.
Oh, we're heading that way anyway.
Yep. Now everything's scorched like
So sad.
miserable halfling trudges along.
Scorcho, scorcho, scorcho.
Like a nice cloak.
Well, aren't you fancy, cousin?
All sorts of nice clothing.
She is fancy.
She's very fancy. You spent 20 silver on this at character creation. That's a lot of money.
Don't need to be fancy. Nice cloak.
Oh, you fancy, huh?
So, as the day goes on, you guys find that you estimate you'll be 2 or 3 hours out from Bradford when night falls hard, like when the night is properly fallen. Maybe 3.5 if the rain continues to make the road a little bit difficult to pass. And that leaves you guys a choice. You can set up a tent, or you can set up camp outside of Bradford, or push on until you're able to seek accommodations inside the town.
As the person in front, I am just going to keep walking unless someone says something.
Okay.
Almost there. Scorch, scorch, scorch. Almost there. Scorch, scorch, scorch. And Tessie's just basically gonna do that until someone stops her.
Yes. Anybody?
Emmeline does not have a bedroll, or only has a bedroll, does not have a tent. So therefore, camping would be absolutely miserable in the rain.
That's fair.
So just going to, take the tiredness and shrug on through.
Okay. So you find that those extra few hours, and it comes out to a little over 3, because the muddiness of the road is making it a little more difficult, which adds to the effect. You find that more and more fatigue is setting in. Only the thought of access to a warm place at the end of this is keeping you going at this point. But sure enough, after those maybe 3.5-ish hours, you find yourself entering the small town of Bradford, or what was the small town of Bradford. When last any of you heard, Bradford was a fairly small mining town. But as you step into it, in the dim light of braziers that are used to light the main street that goes through it, you can see that it looks much larger than you remembered hearing of it being. It, off the top of your head, Tessie, because town sizes matter more to you than really anybody else in the group, this is probably twice as big as Bradford should be.
This is new.
What?
Looks
I have flyers.
like good city. Let's find good inn.
Yes. And in where I can leave some flyers.
Okay. The two of you being the most excited sounding about this, make perception checks, please.
16.
25.
Okay. Can you ever fail a perception roll? Anyway.
Halflings see shit, yo.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So yeah, both of you notice along the road, not too far into the town, in what looks to be the oldest constructed parts of the town, is a moderate-sized building. A sign out front hangs in the rough carved shape of a bird, and painted a dark gray are the words, "The Stony Swallow."
Oh, good. An inn.
Yes. And you can hear the faint sound of voices coming from inside it. As you're moving into the town, you can also definitely see the billowing of smoke from somewhere on the other end of town. If you focus, you'll see a large smokestack that is spilling smoke out into the air. And occasionally an ember will make its way out of the top. It looks to be some kind of like sort of bell-shaped or like hourglass-shaped clay construction.
Just vanishing smoke.
No, it's a fairly steady, like simple smoke coming out. It's not even a huge amount of smoke. It's just constant.
Yeah.
I should say not a huge amount of smoke for a smokestack of this size, but constant.
Emily doesn't have a lot of concern for what's going on. Hey, I think we should get to the inn.
Duh.
Okay.
Take that, Kender. There's more than just bugbears here.
So, as you step inside the Stony Swallow, I will. As you step inside the Stony Swallow, you find a small room made of a sort of
Like 10?
dark, almost grayish wood. Which, for a town this size, having an inn that has like wood floors, that's pretty good. Many towns this size would have dirt floor inns. This one's got wood floors.
Yeah.
And it's this kind of dull grayish wood that stretches for 20, 30 feet from the door. And then transitions to a darker reddish wood, where it seems there's been some kind of new construction addition made to the inn. Tables are scattered around the main floor with maybe 20, 25 people settled around them in quiet chatter, drinking together. Many of them look smudged with possibly soot or some kind of dust. Almost universally male at the moment.
This is probably where people go to drink after work or something.
Yeah.
Heads up to right to the counter, I guess.
Question.
Yeah.
We got gold from the
Yes.
group last game. Wasn't there? There was some that we split it 4 ways, and there was some left over, right?
It was a total of 19 gold.
I didn't feel right taking the leftover gold because I don't feel right looting dead bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which meant that each of you would get, 4 gold?
4, and then there
16
was
with
and there
3
was
left over.
3 left over.
Yeah.
Okay. I will turn to the group and go. Why don't we use some of gold we got before that was not split evenly? We used to pay for accommodations, group accommodations.
Good idea.
huh? That way no one person has to cover it.
Good idea.
Okay. If that being the case, well, I'll let you decide what to do once you're inside the inn.
So,
Mm.
I will head up to the innkeeper.
I will follow.
And Emmeline, you said you were heading up to
Yeah.
the counter as well. Okay. So, standing
Again, wet
behind,
and muddy.
yeah, standing behind the counter is a tall, broad-shouldered human man. He's got the sort of paler skin, which is not uncommon in the southern parts of Cadia, and sort of light brown hair that's trimmed but has a couple of spots that look patchy, like maybe covering over old scars and haven't quite grown back right. He's wearing a fairly nice shirt, possibly linen for this area, definitely a fairly nice shirt, and a leather apron or leather strapped apron over it that has surprisingly white cloth over the main part of the apron. And he turns to you as he holds a mug and cleans it out with a rag.
Good evening. My name is Lady Emmeline. I come from Gate. My companions here have traveled fairly far. Tonight, we'd like to look at getting some rooms.
Well, where are you traveling from?
Check the note.
Adeland?
Adeline. I was like, I gotta get back to the notes.
Yep.
Paging.
Adeland. Why'd you come from there?
Mostly passing through.
Well, fair enough.
Oh, also, takes a flyer. Do you have a place to post a flyer?
I suppose you could just put it on the door.
Star Stride Fair, showing in Marshall's stand.
Oh, well,
Tag the flyer by the door.
it stands an awful long way from here.
Just in
Fair
case.
enough. Okay.
Shameless plug.
Well, you'll be needing rooms for the night then, yeah?
Yeah.
The,
And food, please.
the.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Well, rooms for the night, how many would you need?
At least 2.
2? Well, we've got them for 9 silver each. So, per room, not per person, of course.
It's so expensive place.
You would know, given your knowledge of, economics as a noble, that is slightly above average for rooms.
Those,
Great, right at home.
It's gotta pay for those nice
rooms
linen shirts,
include-
guys.
What comes included is comes with meal, ale, anything.
I'll tell you what. 10 silver per room, and you can have breakfast and dinner free.
Take 2 gold pieces. And down in front of him.
Doesn't bunch of that. That seems appropriate. I deserve it.
Very good. What should we call you, fine people?
I am called Amelie.
I'm Tessie.
You're looking for an individual?
I gotta write something down.
Oh,
As I said, I'm Lady Emmeline Proflighting.
Uh-huh.
Ivan.
Very good.
Tessie Starstride.
Good. Well, it's a bit late, but there might be a bit of food left if you'd like.
Would be appreciated.
I'll see what I can scrape up. Just a moment. And he disappears back into the kitchen.
I will find a table,
Sure.
sit down, and start using prestidigitation to clean off some of the mud.
The mud.
Yeah.
Dry myself off and stuff.
I'm gonna sit down too. Hey guys, Did we maybe have a group name?
No. Why?
A group name provides unity.
But I don't.
Do we need to give group name to innkeeper?
It might help.
If you wish.
Seems largely superfluous to me.
Well, if people want to hire us for things.
But we're busy. we have something
Okay.
to be accomplishing.
Okay.
If you wish to have group name, you is your creative sort.
I would like a group name, Tessie.
That's project for you two then.
This will end well.
Maybe we should have a name based on the tattoos we have on our arms.
Absolutely fucking not.
So,
Partially because there's already a name for that.
Hopefully, we will not have marks much longer.
Feel like we'll probably have them for longer than we want.
I already have them for longer than I want.
I had them for longer than I want. Oh no.
hmm. That's a reference to technology that doesn't exist in this world.
It's fair.
The
That's
weed
something you.
whackers.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
That's something you guys can ponder for a while.
Yes, so
It's not
Tessie's
an
gonna
immediate
sit there
necessity.
just like,
Half formed. Because most of us are half like she's a halfling.
Half of you are halflings.
Well,
she is a full-blooded halfling.
She's a halfling.
Being a
I'm a half orc.
So
reference to
that
the
was
fact
one of
that
the band names. Dwarf and the Half Things.
so Tessie's gonna be sitting there.
halflings
like,
aren't half anything. They're just half as
That's
tall
my
as
speed
humans.
metal band.
Tessie's going to be sitting there writing game ideas in her notebook and erasing them, and then writing
Sure.
them and erasing them. And then...
Okay.
Emily would either be like lead guitar player or drummer, one or the other.
I think I would be the drummer.
Anyway,
I would just use my fists. I'm sorry.
the innkeeper returns after a short while with a small tray and 4 looks like glazed clay bowls and brings them over. Says, "Well, it's not much, but I hope it'll do." And there's sort of a heavy lamb-smelling stew in it.
Smells
Thank you
great.
kindly.
Looks
Thank
like
you.
you have new part of inn.
Oh yeah, we expanded not too long ago.
Good to see doing well.
It's my my personal side project.
Well, City seems doing well.
That's my personal main project.
Ah, what is main project? You are.
Oh, I'm the mayor.
You are mayor.
Yes.
Well, this is honor then.
Is well, I'm glad you're honored.
I stand up and bow to you as the mayor.
Why do you
Yes.
think I get more respect
I-
than me? I'm actually the one
Ivan just kind of like gives this just.
I think Emily does the exact same thing, but for different reasons. Like,
So, do you have any problems with goblins in there?
Oh, now and then, you get goblins in the old mines. Not a lot.
What do they normally do in the old mines?
Make more goblins, I guess.
whatever it is goblins do. Be horrible.
Basically, be horrible, probably.
Why? Are you looking for goblins?
I just heard rumors that there were goblins up this way. Accent is catching. I hate you. I I just heard rumors. that
All
there might
in
be goblins
character.
up this way.
I hate you. Well,
I hate you, Mr. Mayor.
Roll initiative. Oh god.
He is also the captain of the town guard.
He wears many hats.
It was a small town.
Many hats.
I'm also the mayor. Puts on mayor hat.
Well, so, I heard town. When I heard tell of town, thought it would be smaller. Development is recent, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, our mines have been doing real good lately. Had to expand to increase production.
What contribute to such success? Maybe is something I can take back to Skyvuskill.
We struck a vein of mithril.
That does it. Well done.
Yeah, that's not something you can take back. Striking a vein of mithril.
Well, you can if you pay for it.
No, I mean, you know,
Dwarves like the mithril, I hear.
We are
striking a vein of mithril is something that happens or it doesn't.
techniques to look for, but often considered trade secret.
Yeah, well, if any of you happen to be looking for jobs, it's good to be a miner or a smelter in this town.
I
Noted.
can see.
And he sort of motions to the gathered people, the closest of which kind of raise a glass to be like, yeah, it is good.
Good money, good work. Yeah. Get me a beer.
I'm gonna roll a
Dead.
sense motive just to see if if that's all there is to it.
Sure.
That's a 27.
The dwarf knows.
He seems to be straightforward, and he seems to be like very
That's just-
genuine as a person.
Cool.
Like, yeah.
Then good for him.
Yeah. Like there was
Matters
a
little to
moment
me, except my inn
that's
is
high
better
enough
now,
that
so.
you can identify there was a moment where he was a little suspicious of your motives and asking because, you know, telling the world that your little town just doubled in size because of mithril.
It's a good way to get rated for your mithril.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he seems to have gotten over that pretty quickly.
Well, it matters to me in that I now have a better inn, so
Yeah.
good
yes,
for him. I am
it's a
happy.
real nice inn for a town this size.
If you are the mayor,
couldn't
then
have possibly happened more than a few months ago with the way this construction looks.
That's why I was asking. The way you described it made it sound like it's pretty new.
if you are the mayor, why are you running the inn?
Well, until recently, we didn't have enough people to need a full-time mayor or a full-time innkeep. And it's always been sort of how I keep myself close to the working men. And now, well, I just haven't had the heart to give it up yet. So I work the late shift.
I have much respect for you, sir.
Well, I could tell by the way you bowed.
It's interesting because until recently there wasn't much reason, at least speaking from Arisgate, there wasn't much reason looking from Trade Point to move through towards Bradford. But perhaps now that the market has some demand, you could probably expand on some of that.
Oh yeah, well we've been shipping ore all through the country really, but you know, especially in the south where it's a lot less common.
Yeah. Yes, maybe could be early stop for Starstride Fair sometime. Up and coming,
Possibly,
growing
yeah.
population.
I'll let them know.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We don't get a lot of foreign entertainment here.
Speaking
Well,
of
not to say that you're, you know, not
Foreign.
Canadian or anything, but
Yeah.
you know, out of the area.
What are you trying to say,
Speaking
mayor?
There and everywhere.
speaking of foreign, you don't happen to have any dwarven ale, do you?
Dwarven ale, I can't say that we've had need for it.
Shame.
I'll tell you what. We've been meaning to expand our stock with the increase of workmen and of different sorts. We have a few dwarves on staff now, you know.
Good
And,
idea for good mining.
So it's
We'll
fine.
look into getting some in.
They'd
Next
appreciate
time you
it.
come through, we'll get you some dwarven ale.
The mention of not getting much
Party
for-
folk like you, it's you that's missing out.
With the mention of not getting much foreign entertainment, Tessie will twist her ring to activate the Ring of Rings
Uh-huh.
and begin the performance.
Okay. First of all, what color are your rings glowing?
They are glowing. Is there
I
a
didn't think she had that much to
Prevailing-
drink yet.
color scheme?
No, I mean it's different shades of wood and dirt at the moment.
So no like town emblem or town colors?
Nope. Doesn't seem like they felt the need along the way.
Okay, silver.
Okay.
Silver and gold.
That is going to be 17.
Okay.
So she's going to start, doing acrobatics, singing. She's going to expand out 3 rings to begin juggling them and eventually switch to the multiple hula hoops, switching to collapsing them into a thick ring
Sure.
and expanding it out so she can fit inside and doing acrobatics inside of the ring.
Okay. Make an extra reflex save.
Okay. Where's my- 19.
Okay. The inn is fairly dense in its layout. The expansion was definitely like a necessity. And while not all the tables are occupied this late, they're still there. So you just barely managed to keep from running into a few of them along your way. But your performance goes well. And the people who are still in the inn are 50% apparently late shift at the smelting plant, and 50% people who are still drinking after getting off of work. And they both seem to like it. And the mayor smiles and nods and is clearly impressed.
Cool. So that's what she's doing for a little while.
Yep.
After finishing food.
Yes, obviously, because priorities.
Halflings have priorities, especially hungry, wet, tired
Ivan will
halflings.
simply drink ale.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever ale they have.
So tell me if I have to make an extra roll for this, but she's going to try to pass off nearly running into people with a flourish as if she meant to do
Your
the whole
performance
time.
roll was high enough.
Okay.
That it's fine. Like, yeah, you can pull that off. The fact that you didn't actually run into anyone means
You
that
faint
you
near
can pull
miss.
that
Oh,
off.
I totally meant to do that. No, that
Yeah.
no. But yes, I totally meant to do that.
Yeah, that's easy enough. Yeah, if no one else has questions for him.
No,
How good's
I'm just
the stew?
enjoying this moment.
Oh,
How good's the stew?
the stew is, I mean, it's definitely small town food.
Mhm.
It's meant to keep you fed more than to taste fantastic. But, as small town food goes, it's not bad. It's clear that they don't exactly have like a high quality chef in the town yet. But the ingredients are pretty good, actually. It seems like somebody brought in some decent stuff to make this out of.
Ingredients make good food.
What'd you roll for?
Roll to see if I get any improvements.
Ah,
Oh,
Roll a 1.
nope.
It is stew. I can think of nothing I would
Yeah.
change. Not a thing.
maybe
It's-
dirt.
It's so foreign from the
Add some
process
grit.
that the dwarves make stew, or at least the Uskal dwarves make stew, that you're just like, it's definitely stew, but I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna press a digitation to flavor it slightly, but now
Sure.
I'm not because I
Nope.
can't think of anything I would change about it. Like,
Nope.
I don't know. I don't know what this is or what I would do.
staying how it is.
Yep.
Tessie's probably
press
like, this is
presentation
very,
app,
very
so
good
they use
food
it
because
as much
travel
as-
halflings,
Yeah.
travel halflings
I
eat
love
small
Brad
town
Pitt.
food all the time.
You should be using Read Aura.
And the stew.
Everything. It's got thorns!
Take a bite. Something
Does
pricks
it
your
have-
tongue. Oh God.
You've fallen into my trap. Anyway.
The innkeeper is the Bramble Man.
Oh
Oh,
god.
God.
Oh god. Oh, we got the mythical
Spoilers,
guys.
Sherry. Spoilers.
Damn.
You
So-
got ...
Disclaimer: the innkeeper is not the Brambler. The bramble.
No. Absent any other need for conversation with him, the mayor / innkeeper moves back toward the bar and continues cleaning things.
Cool.
Unless anybody flags him down for anything else.
Nope, not right now.
So,
priorities.
Right now, my
Finish
priority is, eat, get some ale, go to bed.
At some point, I will set the,
Eat bed.
the
Eat,
combination
take a shower.
Yeah.
donation box
Bed.
flyer holder
Gotta learn that
on a
prestidigitation.
nearby table. Well, no, I probably did that before the
Have
performance. The
prestidigitation.
combination
It's called elbow
donation
grease.
box flyer holder I would set out on
Yeah.
the table.
you make a couple of extras copper out of it.
Sweet. I wasn't expecting to make a whole lot of
Yeah.
sales of the flyers. And for the lulls.
Or hello.
I'll get back to you on exactly how much that is because I have to do some math for it.
Sweet.
But,
Right, then I will
Outside of that?
I decided to copper.
you all eat what you want, drink what you want. The amount of ale you drink, I suspect you spend probably 3 or 6 silver on
Okay.
extra booze. Because I'm sorry, 3 or 6 copper, not silver.
Okay.
A keg of ale is 2 silvers. You feel you drink a keg of ale?
Not tonight.
Okay, so we'll call it 1 silvers. we'll give you half a keg.
One silver?
Yeah,
Okay.
for as much as you would like to drink during this entire process.
Cool.
Tessie would basically drink booze that is weak enough to just enough alcohol
Yeah.
to provide disinfection
That'll cut-
for water.
Sure, that'll
And-
cost you probably a couple of copper. What it'll basically cost you when you make back from the performance, we'll say, to make the math simpler on me.
Yeah, that's fair. Just a little bit of cider. Because cider.
And then you all have 2 rooms to go up to. Who is sleeping with whom?
I'll be with Tessie.
Okay, that makes sense. You all go up, fall into your rooms. There are small wash basins in each room, and in the hallway is a sort of a central larger basin that you can draw water from. The second floor, as you go up it, the boards creak under you a little bit in the gray wood section. And again, the same transition happens, and all of your rooms appear to be part of this new, or both of your rooms appear to be part of this new redder wood section. And it's, it definitely feels like it's solid enough, but it was built fast, and the joining isn't like absolutely perfect, so they kind of creak a little bit against each other. Yeah. And is there anything anybody needs to do before they fall asleep again?
Clean my clothes off.
Simply,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna kind of take the warhammer and kind of grip it again and kind of not practice with it, but just kind of like hold it and study it a bit more and figure out a bit more of like how would someone hold this? What is
Mhm.
kind of how is it?
Use of the
wielded?
heft.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
a little bit more.
wash my clothes and do night meditation.
Okay.
Scrub off, freak myself out.
Contemplate the meaning of following the marshal of the gleaming blade while wielding a warhammer,
Yes.
wondering if it's religiously possible.
It is. There are many followers of the Marshal who do not wield gleaming blades or blades of any kind.
Yes.
The gleaming blade is a symbol, and many choose to
Oh sure.
follow that symbol practically. But
Oh sure. But as a cleric of him, it seems like a gleaming blade would be more appropriate. But this warhammer is very nice.
it is. But
Religious
you do
dilemma.
know, you do know, from your knowledge of how magical runes work, that for a bit of money, you can have that rune transferred to a different weapon,
Sure.
or really anyone could.
But still,
Yes.
need to find someone that is capable of such things.
Yes.
This town may not have acquired yet, or may have. I'll learn in the morning.
You'll learn in the morning. So, all of you manage to clean what you need to clean, and then fall asleep.
Everybody brace yourselves.
Oh god.
Oh God, he's changing the music.
Oh god.
Amelie.
Hey, not my turn.
Damn it!
No, names sound the same.
Every time.
Amelie.
Yes.
As you drift to sleep, you find that sleep comes quickly to you. You're quite tired. But it's strangely restless once it comes for the first few hours. And when finally you do slip toward dreams, they settle dark and heavy onto you. And at first you find yourself back in the monastery with the Order of the Bladed Palm. And it's dreams you're familiar with. The moments of anxiety and of joy. Your moments of accomplishment when you did well in front of your masters. And the moments when other masters in the order hid poorly their derision for both half-orcs and for the tiger style that you were learning. And for a while, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Why, that's on the creepy playlist. I'm gonna have to redo those.
I was digging it though.
I was thinking
It's
it
nice.
too,
It's
like,
not
dude.
appropriate to the moment, though.
It was. For
Very
the first minute and a half.
Yeah.
I know.
Uh,
I'm gonna fight in my dreams, guys.
yeah. Anyway,
Oh.
sorry about that. As the dream goes on, though, you find that it becomes more abstract. It's familiar still, but you find that your mind seems to be creating more new things among these experiences. Until suddenly everything is dark in the monastery. And you feel the cold stone still under your feet. You can just faintly see the sort of flagstone of the courtyard beneath you. The sky above is dark. There are none of the braziers or torches that would be used to light the courtyard. Slowly, out of the distance, you hear voices whisper.
Do I know where they're coming from?
It's hard to tell because you'll hear one and it'll be gone as quick as it came, and there will be another from another direction. And from your remembrance of the courtyard, many of these directions don't make sense. There's nothing in those directions. It's open air.
Can I tell what they're saying?
You can roll a perception check to see if you can pick out any bits.
I want to get out of here. That is a 7. Yeah, no. Too tired
Yeah, there's
and confused.
it's definitely too quiet to really pick up.
Okay.
You can hear kind of language patterns definitely, but so they're speaking, but you can't pick out any specific words. And gradually there are more of them, and slowly you can hear them kind of growing closer.
I take my tiger stance.
Okay, you drop
Just sort
into
of-
the familiar
Yeah.
fighting stance.
Sort of defensively.
Okay.
Can I roll perception again to see if I could try to maybe pinpoint something that I can hit?
Yeah.
That's 13?
13.
14. Nope. 13.
Sure. Roll
Sorry.
an attack.
Roll an attack?
Yeah, with your normal unarmed modifier.
Ah,
Attack the darkness.
I know. That was an 11. Wait, with my so 12.
Yeah. You think for a second you've nailed down a position for someone, and you strike out fast.
Mm.
But your hand just swishes through air, and you hear the sound of air moving out of the way of your fingers, even though you can't see your hands moving.
Mm.
And there's nothing there. And when you move that fast, there's this weird sort of thickness to the air around your hand.
Mm.
And the whispers keep moving in until they're assembled around the edge of the circular courtyard you're standing
I'm gonna get a little more nervous
in. Mm-hmm.
and start attempting to face everyone, but trying to but at the same time trying to calm myself and remember my training and
Okay.
focus.
Roll, I guess, a will save.
That's what I was thinking,
this
rolling
case.
a will just to see if I can stay focused.
Sure.
That and 15.
Okay. Yeah, you manage to keep your mind under control for the moment. But as the whispers continue and become more consistent, you can feel it straining your concentration
Okay.
until one voice moves in closer, just over your left shoulder. And at first it's the same whispers that you can't quite pick out, just sounding closer, until it resolves into a single voice. What are you looking for? Out here in the world like this, what are you trying to find?
Do I recognize the voice?
No.
I want to hit it, but I don't know.
You're confident you know where it would be coming from.
So I turn to face it.
Okay. There's
Staying in
still
tiger stance.
darkness, but as you turn, the nature of ki for a monk is definitely more than just physical.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel the flow of a combat. And while you don't have the mastery that many of the other monks in the order did, you certainly have the basics down, and as you turn, you feel something in front of you. And you square solidly into tiger stance. But you just can't see anything there.
Can I roll to try to concentrate on it again?
Sure.
Maybe, can I roll to use my key to direct my my shot?
Oh, in an attack roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can use a key strike.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So you will get an extra +1 to this attack. And you can even make it a flurry if you want to do it twice.
Yes.
Okay.
That's... Wait a minute. Wait, so... 16, 17... 18?
Okay.
That's the first on the first one.
Okay, and roll the second one, please. Now that you are getting a -4
4.
to this one. So.
So 10, 18, 19.
Oh, wow. Okay. So 18 and 19, you said?
Yes.
Okay. You strike out, charging your fists with the energy of your key,
Yeah.
and you do one of your swift combinations, slashing high then low.
Mm-hmm.
And in spite of the fact that you can feel the thing in front of you, you think at first you must have missed somehow, because your hands just travel through the space where the person should be. But then you realize, just as you're coming around from the second strike, that you felt a resistance there. Just not a full physical body, but something definitely slowed your motion on the way through. And then that feeling of pressure in front of you is gone, and the voice is back over your left shoulder. Well, you're a spirited one. I like that. But what are you looking for?
Home.
That's different for you than the others, isn't it? I can help with that. We'll talk again. And then the whispers, all as one, drop over the course of a second. So one moment they're all whispering, and like a single voice, they seem to withdraw until you can no longer hear them at an incredible speed. And for a moment, you're left alone until one of the braziers in the corner of the courtyard flares up with this weird dark green fire. And then you find yourself coming awake in the morning. I think that is a good time for us to take our break.
Okay.
It's a little early, but I think it's a good breaking point not to disrupt something down the road. So, we're going to take our break for about 20 minutes or so. Should be back.
Half an hour. I was
Yeah.
fixing.
Yeah, we'll be back 5:50, 6 o'clock, somewhere around there. Stick around. But first, I do want to point out, we do have our Discord server up. If you want to stop by there, either now or later, we do have a voice channel there called The Watch Party, which is where, if you want to have a sort of a studio audience experience where you can whisper to each other, or, make Brambleman references or talk about talk about all of our awful puns. That's up to you.
My puns are amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
They're punderful.
They're punderful.
Okay.
We did this one already.
We're gonna keep doing it
Until
for-
then,
Exactly.
until it's funny.
stick around and we'll talk to you again shortly. Okay. Welcome back, everybody.
Oh God.
Oh, jeez. As you can tell, in our somewhat cramped setup.
Occasionally
yeah,
we
looks
bump
pretty
the cameras.
I kicked a camera cable on my way to get something to eat.
God, Dave.
Yeah, I'm the worst. So,
And I fixed it.
Yeah.
Tessie shoveling porridge in her mouth at breakfast is kind of us snacks at break.
yeah, eat as fast as possible.
Shove food in face.
Yep. So, thank you for sticking with us. The tradition continues, indeed.
Yes, it does.
Spoiler alert, it's going to continue
You're the best.
until we have the resources to do things like get a facility that we
It's not a corner in Charlie's living room. Thank you, Charlie.
Yes.
but-
Also, take a moment, shout out to Charlie for letting us absolutely ruin his living room. It is a desolate hellhole in here of cameras and mic cables.
Yeah.
I live in this now.
Yes.
I go to sleep and just wrap myself in cords, and the warmth of the computer sustains me.
Anyway. Oh, Let's
Eyes are strangely
slide
covered.
back into the story. As
Now I bumped your mic.
that's fine. As you all wake into the next morning. Now in the most comfortable beds you guys have slept in probably a while.
They were expensive. They better be.
They were expensive. And they felt expensive.
Good.
Good.
Seems some money was put into upgrading the beds here.
Yay.
And so you all wake in your two separate rooms in the Stony Swallow Inn. Is there anything anyone wants to do first thing? No, the casters obviously want to prepare their spells.
I spend time polishing and sharpening my sword, which is how I, meditate to God.
Yes.
I'm going to try to meditate.
Okay.
Emphasis on the word try. Can I roll like a will to
Yeah.
focus?
Actually, roll religion in this. Well, no, it's not really a religious experience for you. Yeah, well, it's fine.
Not yet.
It's a 19.
19?
Mhm.
Yeah. You manage to shake off the sort of latent anxiety of the dream enough to get through your morning meditation
Mm-hmm.
and refocus yourself. There's still sort of that feeling at the back of your skull of oddity and anxiety.
That one's been hanging around for a while though.
But you managed to get through it. For now.
Tense Toms.
It's one of my Peaceful Place songs.
It works. It's got some
Yes, it's a little intense, but happy.
nice beat.
Tessie is going to spend some time basking in the squishiness of the expensive bed.
Yep.
And then journal about whatever dreams that she had last night.
Sure.
And go about preparing for her day. Wave good morning to Ivan.
Okay.
See, if you had your wooden stump, you could be carving that a bit
Yes,
now.
but unfortunately,
You abandoned your child.
I'll have to call CPS, guys.
okay, I'll find
TPS.
I'll find a better child.
Tree
Charlie.
protection.
Tree protection
I
services.
fucked that child up. I gotta get it.
You did cut him.
Oh God. Okay, we're moving on.
Oh god, someone kill me. Okay.
And your zombie baby.
So,
Got some pot devices to feed now.
anyone doing anything else before breakfast?
Nope.
Okay. Nope. Okay.
Want to get breakfast after I'm done praying and focusing on my blade and everything.
Yep.
Go down and get breakfast.
Yep. As you head down, the last of what looks to be the morning wave of workers seems to be finishing their meals and heading out. And from what you can tell, the inn was recently quite full on the first floor. This is why
But don't read chat.
we maintain our
Don't
concentration.
read chat. Chat's too awesome for us to look at that.
Yes.
We'll
Switching
never
over
get
to
this
my
done.
spell list
We love
now.
you. We can't keep reading you.
Switching
We'll
over
never
to
get
my
anything
spell
out of it.
list now.
Yep. Goddamn. Okay.
Quite full when we came down.
Yes, it was recently quite full and has just sort of started to empty out as the workers go off to the mines and the smelting plant. Those workers who didn't get food at home, and so there's the sort of last cheerful rumbles of conversation as workers filter out, leaving just a few stragglers and a young-looking woman behind the bar. And when you come down, what do you do?
I will get breakfast
Okay.
first thing.
Same.
Walk up to the bar. Good morning.
Здравствуйте.
What's that?
Morning.
Oh,
Ah,
good morning to you as well. Hello.
I
Hello.
felt bad. We got in late last night, and in our hurry, I had forgotten to ask the innkeeper's name.
Oh, last night would have been Cedric.
Yeah, he took
Mayor
very good
said
care of us. But we were hoping to get some breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, he mentioned that that the 2 rooms got breakfast free.
Yay.
Any special requests?
Food. What do you have?
Oh, we've got eggs, bit of pork left,
pork is good.
sort of salted pork.
What will do?
It's good.
Uh,
Good in the
eggs-
morning.
eggs pork
Lots of
sounds
energy
good.
for the day.
And in
Ah.
a similar fashion, what is your name?
Oh, I'm Salal.
Sel?
Salal.
Selal. It's nice to meet you.
I'm Tessie.
Well, it's good to meet you too.
I am Amelie.
Ivan.
Oh, that's a good name.
Da.
I had some family from Skyvooskill.
Did you?
Well, a few generations back now. Kept the name though. Well, translated the name.
What is last name?
Oh, Hammerseeker.
Ah, this is good. Who's
Yeah.
name? Translate.
You
Da.
definitely noticed that would be a dwarven name. Also,
Oh, really?
she's a little short for a human. Like, she's a little short for a human.
Da. Ivan Zimanov.
Oh, that's a good name too.
Da. He's worked for me so far.
Well, so food and extra salted pork. Eggs for everybody?
Da.
Porridge?
Da.
Please.
Eggs, pork, meat. Da.
Excellent. Coming right up. And she disappears back into the kitchens for a few moments. A few of the remaining stragglers have taken notice of you, but none of them seem to, too intent on intruding on your morning.
I take notice of them too.
I don't.
I think I might a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chalk it up to them maybe not seeing a half orc before, because that's usually what it is.
Out
I don't
of
know.
towners are interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ivan likes
figure I
being looked
probably
at because it
get
means
that.
he can stare people down.
Tessie probably gets that reaction a lot because out of towners
Deserve
equals
intimidation.
interesting.
Yeah.
So, she comes back a few moments later with bowls of porridge and a few plates. She seems to have opted for the family style, and she just sort of throws some plates in front of you. Big thing of porridge, a couple of bowls, some
Eggs.
a plate with a bunch of eggs, and
Nice, nice big skillet.
yeah,
Tessie will immediately grab individual dishes, pile up her dishes with food, which means, of course, only puts a slight dent
right.
in everything else.
Halflings. She seems to have managed to come up with a couple of sausages.
Ivan will definitely take the sauce.
Yep.
I will take some as well.
Some eggs, sausage.
Then Tessie will pick the most of the things that seem to have the most there, and a little bit of the things that only seem to have a little bit there.
Sure. The food is solid. It's definitely a working man's breakfast, and it's the flavors aren't anything to write home about, but they're also not anything to write poorly home about. So,
It's a breakfast.
and quickly enough, she goes off to handle some other customers and back to the bar.
Ivan will eat, and unless there is some interruption or anything noteworthy going on while we are eating, he's going to, after he's done, go back up and approach the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Silil, yeah?
Selal.
Selal. Is there any sort of magic worker in town? Someone doing runes, enchantments, things of that
Like for weapons and tools and such. Yeah, well, we've got a pretty good smith. He knows how to
He can do
handle runes. Yeah, he's
very
not
good.
He's not magic himself, but he knows how to move one.
Хорошо. Where can I find said man?
He just moved to a bigger forge near the smelter.
Is big place smokestack with...
Yeah, just before.
Да. Спасибо. And you will go back to the...
Yeah, you should be able to hear him this time of morning. Loud clanging, all that.
Да. I will be getting some weapon work done. Back after. Да?
She said, "See you later." I speak full mouth fluently.
It's a good talent to have.
Excellent. He will head out. He will grab his warhammer and a sword. Walk his way.
Okay.
My companions and I weren't planning on staying in town long, but while we're here, is there anything around that we should check out?
Sure. Do me a favor, Charlie. While we go over this, grab the book and make sure that you know the process for transferring runes real quick.
You know
It's gonna be
whereabouts I
under-
might find that?
It's going to be with the runes in the treasures section, or the treasure section near the end.
That's it.
Okay. Just so that we're positive we get that right, and so that you all know how magic weapons work, right? Okay. So, what was your question?
Tourist map.
Yeah.
Look, my companions and I are passing through town, and while we are here, at least for the day to rest up for travel, we'd like to kind of see around the town and see is there much interesting around?
Well, I find it fascinating, but I live here. There's the new mines, the old mines, if you like that sort of thing. There's smelting plant. Other than that, it's mostly homes and a couple of shops and this place.
I heard there might be a slight goblin problem.
Is there?
Maybe I heard wrong.
They get into the abandoned mines now and again. From what I hear. I'm not really in the goblin fighting business.
I see.
Pretty much any town will have a goblin problem eventually.
Well, they don't usually come too far out of the mountains.
Very well then. Maybe we'll take a look around and see some of the things.
Well, if you're looking for anything specific, I can point you in the right direction.
Thank you.
That would be giving up information.
So, would Tessie remember much about the background of like the setting of the dream?
Of which dream?
The dream that everyone had at the beginning.
Oh, it was a small town, smaller than this, definitely.
Okay. Would she? I mean, the place where the altar was.
Oh, it was an underground cavern of some kind.
How
Cut stone.
old are the old mines?
Well, Bradford's been mining for a few generations now.
Are people allowed to take a look at them out of historical curiosity?
I suppose. As long as they haven't collapsed or anything.
Okay, thank you.
Bless you.
Yeah, I mean, they're mostly up in the hills. The really old ones are north a bit. Those were the first veins they found.
North, like up in the foothills?
Well, yeah, that's where the rock is.
Okay. Thank you. I'll go over to the other. Guys, check the old map.
Oh, we'll have to track down Ivan before we go.
Oh?
He went to a weaponsmith.
Speaking of which, you set out from the inn
Yes.
and you make your way down sort of the main street. And it takes a little while because the town has had some kind of explosive growth. But eventually you get closer to that great smokestack and start to hear faintly the clang, clang, clang of a smith's hammer. And after a while you find a shop which has what honestly looks like it might have been an old anvil out front,
Uh.
and a little like wooden posted sign stuck to the top of it. And it says Orsons.
All right, I'll walk up to that.
Okay. And if you walk inside, you see this tall human man over an anvil with what looks like a red hot piece of metal. He is hammering vigorously. Yeah, this chunk of iron, shaping it into a broad, flat plane about big.
Здравствуйте. Hello.
He takes another hit or two before he realizes, oh wait, he heard something. And he stops and turns and pulls a sort of a handkerchief down from in front of his face. Yeah.
You are Orson?
Well, yeah, it's on the shop.
Da. I have weapon I wish to transfer rune to.
Well, okay. Where's the rune?
Pick up the warhammer.
From that one to that one, yeah?
Da. To sword.
Okay. Leave him here for a couple hours.
Then horror shop. We'll be back to pick up when it's done.
Yeah, should I put a name on that? Or just go with dwarf?
Ivan.
Oh, yeah.
Who
That sounds
imagine
right
other
for
would
dwarf.
work about as well, da?
And he stops and pulls out like a scrap of paper, and you watch him write in sort of kind of messy handwriting, Ivan Dwarf. And just slaps it down on the spot on the bench next to the two weapons.
Okay. It says that transferring runes takes a day and costs 10% of the rune's price.
Right, which in this case would be 3.5 gold.
Okay.
So 3 gold, 5 silver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So he, as soon as he's gotten that done, he turns back to the anvil, like without even bothering to wait for you to leave.
Sure. But Ivan will
Clang,
Ivan will leave and
clang. Okay.
head back to the inn.
Okay. Eventually, Ivan returns, bereft of weaponry.
Well.
Well, we were gonna go check the old mines for goblins, but you don't have your sword.
Does anybody have sword I can borrow?
No?
Can you use a dagger?
Nope. I've got a dagger. I've got a short bow. Can you shoot a bow?
No, I'm
Oh.
no good at bow.
I have a dagger.
I can use dagger.
I don't want to part with my daggers. I like my daggers.
You can borrow my dagger.
Okay.
Horror shop.
Down
You
there.
get handed over a dagger slightly shorter than ones you might be used to because it belongs to a halfling, but not so short as to not be suitable for a dwarf.
Okay.
And then you guys are setting out. Okay.
To the mines!
You all set out from the Stony Swallow after a pleasant morning into nearing noon now. You guys heading north out of town, I'm assuming?
Mhm.
Okay. I guess let's start with once a survival for direction finding purposes.
I
Allow a maximum of 2 people to make.
I
this.
cast no
I'll do it.
direction, which I prepared this morning.
Sure. Well, yes. I mean, you're
So-
able to determine the direction north without too much problem.
Sure.
It's more being able to read the lay of the land to determine where like an old mine might be.
Can I cast no direction to get an advantage on that, or get some help on that, like a?
Sure. I'll allow you to burn it. Oh wait, that's a cantrip, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. I'll give you a little bit of a status bonus.
That is a before the bonus, 21.
Okay.
Oh.
What you
Out of 14.
got? Okay. So between the two of you and the bonus, we'll call it like a 25-ish. Okay. Yeah. You survey the land, and with your knowledge of mining techniques, though you've never personally done it, or really anyone you're related to, because mines and Skyvu skill are in some very specific regions.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, you feel like you understand where mines are likely to be, and head off in a north and
Dwarven
slightly
economy is
eastward.
heavily based on mining because there isn't much but rocks there, so that's all they got.
All your natural dwarven instincts. Diggy, diggy hole.
Thank you, Yogscath.
So, you set out north and slightly east toward what you think will be the right direction.
Mm.
And does not take long at all for the terrain. The terrain on the way here was a little bit uneven. Doesn't take long before it's pretty hilly. And then some steep hills. And so it's slow going for a while. And I would like you guys to pick who is making your perception checks.
I will.
You can't. You are tracking
Okay.
direction.
I can't either.
You
Yes.
can't. He is concentrating on things like magic casting and stuff like that too.
Tessie's
No
got
way,
the
no
eyes
way.
of God, so Tessie needs
I
to be
know.
making
Sure,
it.
I will make
Okay.
perception checks.
Tessie and Amelie.
Oh wow, you jinxed me, Paul. 9.
Okay.
I
The
got
eyes of God have failed us.
I got an 18.
Okay. As you're moving, off in the far distance, you hear what you think are maybe a couple of odd sounds. Like, it might be some kind of bird or something, but it's weird and squawky.
Hmm. I hear an odd bird.
Hmm.
Is it in the direction that we're going?
Is it?
More or less.
Yes.
It would be maybe slightly more north than you were going.
About.
It's an odd place. Not too concerned about.
Well, we are in the hills.
You're also near mines, correct?
Yeah.
Do you not?
You imagine you must be getting in the general direction of mines at this point.
Question.
Or within, striking distance of mines.
I wouldn't know about the bird on the mine, would I?
I'm sorry? Oh, like
No.
Canaries? No.
Okay,
but
then no.
also this would be much too large a creature for a canary.
Okay, then no.
Much too large of a creature. Yeah,
Turns
big
out
bird.
Amelie does not have knowledge of mining techniques.
No. And Diggy Hole is too busy casting magic.
You all good there, Morgan?
We
any
broke
change in
our
tactic then?
I'm sorry.
So, no, I'm gonna keep leading them towards the mines.
Okay.
Any concern about her?
This bird.
There's birds.
Okay. And as you guys press on, I'll have Emmeline, since you're the only one who hasn't done one yet, make me a perception check. Or who isn't busy.
Emily's not a morning person, as we've discovered
Uh-huh.
through previous
Many
perception
times
checks.
before.
Still not a morning person. Only 9.
Okay. Nothing special.
9.
It's just some stupid bird. I don't have time to be worried about a bird. We have to go to a mine.
Okay. So I assume you all are because we're in exploration mode, which we haven't done a lot of like explicit stuff with before. You all get to pick a tactic that you are using. You're sort of defaulting to perceiving. Your other options are things like sneaking, or mostly those two that are relevant to this situation. You are either perceiving or sneaking.
Ivan's perceiving.
Yeah.
I am perceiving.
Okay. I assume
Sneaking takes energy.
you're also
Perceiving.
Yeah, sneaking also makes it significantly slower, and sneaking through hill territory would slow you down by quite a bit.
God, yeah.
So, since you are all perceiving, if you would all, as you crest a hill, make a perception check.
Woohoo! Emmeline woke up real damn fast.
Emily's awake for stabbing time.
The sense of blood is in the air.
Now I roll well.
I rolled well too. I got a 20.
You ain't surprising us, Dave.
25. Woo!
The smell of blood is in the air. Emily's just like, what? Murder? Murder?
Is it
Murder?
sentient?
Is it sentient?
Goblins are sentient creatures.
Oh god.
Calm down, children.
Sentience.
Be the plot device.
I can sense them.
Be the plot device.
Give me 1
And then the
second.
players just turned into a gaggle of goblins.
Yes. And suddenly you're switched allegiances.
That has been Have Dice Will Save. Join us next time as we roll new characters.
As you all suddenly transmute into goblins and join the enemy forces. Okay, anybody
Dragon
above
fighters
20? Okay. Close to, let's go 25 to 21.
25.
25.
26.
Jesus
So
Christ.
Paul rolled a natural 20, so you know.
Oh, okay.
Like I said,
Natural
Emily woke
20.
the fuck up.
Okay, natural 20. What did you roll on the die?
On the die, I rolled an 18.
Okay. So we'll let Amelie go first because natural 20.
Wait,
Emmeline or
also-
Emily?
also has-
I'm sorry.
We both rolled natural 20.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
she's 26.
Amelie, Emmeline is a natural 20 on a 26. You're a natural 20 on a 25. While Tessie is a natural 18 on a 25.
Oh, he
because
said
you got a
not-
natural
not-
20.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was confused.
Yeah.
Emmeline, Amelie, Tessie.
Yeah.
Little M, big M, Tessie.
Both Morgan and I were like, wait, why does Amelie
Okay.
go first?
Where are
Because
you,
my name
Ivan?
starts with an A.
I didn't get to 20, I got 19.
Okay, well, you're still
Darn.
doing
The
fine.
horror.
Come on, Ivan, keep up.
Never paying attention.
Do you know North? No. Shut up.
Yeah, my survival's actually bad.
Good. I can see.
My survival's okay. He's alright, you know.
I'm a noble. I have people to survive
Okay.
for me.
So, as you come up,
That's just a group thing now. I'm a noble. I have people do X for me.
we're going to shift into the battle soundtrack. As you come up onto the crest of this hill here, make sure that I pull this so that everyone will be able to see it. It's kind of forward in the frame, but that's okay. You come up onto this hill up here. Stick you. Ivan. Like so.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can.
Be a bit more working space.
We could even do it a little more. Give some perspective. There we go. That'll work. So, you come up on the crest of this hill here, which I have so deftly drawn for you. What?
Fingers are slightly off the bottom.
Okay. We can just move you up further onto the crest.
Perfect.
And we'll stick Emmeline, I don't know, somewhere around here. You guys weren't really in battle formation going up here, so. As you come up on the crest of this hill, everybody sees down here at the bottom of like a smaller hillock, a little squad of goblins.
Have they noticed us yet?
Not yet, because you guys rolled crazy perception, so you get the drop on them. Okay, so notable things about this little squad of goblins. They are all brightly green skinned.
Really?
Do they have thorns?
No,
Darn.
there are not thorns, red or otherwise. That's not true. Some of their shields have like spiky bits on them.
Oh, okay.
They're not
Close
red
enough.
or wooden.
Thorn goblin.
You notice that two of them appear to be fairly scrawny and lightly armored. but wielding light shields and what you may or may not have heard referred to as the Goblin Horse Chopper, which is a goblin sword.
Oh dear.
Really, really crudely made sword.
Okay.
There's a
Call the
bulkier
Hulk.
goblin
Yep.
who is standing sort of in the middle of the group, who is wearing heavier armor and a big helmet with sort of rafted on horns, one of which appears to have been broken off. Probably taken from a cow, like a male cow, a bull of some kind.
Mhm.
And then in the back is a even shorter, scrawnier goblin holding a lute.
Oh
And
no.
he is
Blame
playing
music.
it and making a squawking sound.
No.
He's the
Ghost
squawking
Bombard.
one.
So, Emmeline, you are at the top of the initiative with 26.
I would like to draw a weapon
Okay?
and, well, really, both my weapons.
Yeah, one action to draw.
And ready a charge action.
You actually don't have the charge action. Charge action is in this
Oh.
edition.
Is it because
Ready,
oh.
move, and attack.
You can only ready one action. It takes one action to declare the ready, and the other action becomes a reaction to do it when it's triggered.
Right. In that case, I will move in front of Tessie.
Okay.
And draw my parry dagger. Or, activate my parry dagger
Okay.
for an additional AC.
Sure. So you have your weapons out, you move up, and you pull yourself into a sort of defensive knife fighting stance.
Mhm.
Okay. That brings us to Amelie.
I'm gonna just get in my tiger fighting stance, and should I roll to stealth?
They've seen you by now. They will have seen you very shortly.
Okay.
At this point, you're on top of a hill,
Okay, then yeah.
and you're taller than anyone you're standing around. There's really nothing to hide behind.
Half orc hides behind the dwarf.
Protect me,
Get
dwarf!
low.
I am the dwarf shadow.
You mind if I move myself slightly forward?
Sure. Oh yeah, that's fine. Are you moving at all?
No.
Okay, just spending an action for Tiger Stance and
Mhm.
burning the other two. Okay.
Monk ready to flank. Monk ready to flank.
Okay, that puts us at Tessie.
All right. Due to the threat, I don't think I can move.
Do you have any
I'm
ranged
going to.
attacks?
Oh, I'm trying to do something specific.
Oh, okay.
What I'm gonna do.
Don't mess with the bard while she's already.
Excuse me.
Move over here.
I should note going uphill is difficult terrain.
Everything
And
shaded out is it difficult? Or-
No. This is sort of the downward bit of the hill. You are currently Ivan and Amelie are at the top of the hill. You guys have gone downward on the hill. Going the other direction would be difficult terrain,
Okay.
as would going up this little hillock over here.
And I am going to cast. I'm going to start singing and begin inspiring courage.
Okay. You are. Yeah, you're close enough to inspire everybody.
Emily moves to protect the
And
bard.
actually,
Bard moves
do I have
completely
another?
opposite
Do I have another action?
That was an action to move and an action to cast, so yes.
Can I take another move?
Sure.
All right. 10, 15.
Oh, she gonna die.
No. 5, 10. Right here.
Sure.
Okay. We're
Okay.
good.
Tessie, it is the little goblin's turns. They have a tiny halfling in front of them. 4. He's gonna move over here. Kill it. Kill it. He will attack you with this lovely horse chopper he has.
All right.
For 19 to hit.
That just hits.
How could you say that about
2 slashing damage. Then he will attack again.
Oh no! I may have made a bad decision, but we'll see.
That's a lot. That's 21 to hit
Yep.
with
It was
3
"That's a
slashing
lot."
damage. We rolled a 17 to hit. I was like,
I have made a terrible mistake.
Errors have been made.
no, it's this one. He runs over here, and because he has landed adjacent to this guy activates Goblin Scuttle, which allows him to step. Bloop.
Damn you goblins.
Scuttle.
That's a 24 to hit.
Yep.
They're rolling high. 3 slashing damage.
Not on
Oh, I'm
his
sorry. That
edge.
was a 28 to hit.
Still hits?
Is
Yeah,
that
but it's not a
crit
critical.
then?
Because
Oh,
you're.
I'm at 19. AC is 19.
Okay, then you're fine.
Okay.
Damn. Thank you.
Good AC.
Ooh,
no.
not good. So 2 plus 8 is 10. Yeah.
Jesus.
No. 10 to hit.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't. It doesn't
Yeah.
hit.
10
Sorry.
damage. Your health is gone. Goblin
Rolling
celebrate.
d6s with no bonuses. He's not hitting for 10. As these, okay, so essentially, this little pair of scrappy goblins come rushing in. They're like piecemeal half armor, rattling as they go, with this weird battle cry, high and squeaky, like, and start chopping furiously at you. And they're not great at it. they're okay,
But it hurts.
but it hurts. You get hit. Ivan, you are up.
I am going to. How far away is that goblin there?
You could be adjacent in 15 feet.
Can I in 20 feet flank?
Yes.
I-
Although if they have the attack of opportunity action, that will trigger it, because it turns out attack of opportunity is way more powerful in Pathfinder 2. Leaving any square within their reach will allow them to attack.
Okay.
Just a
How
heads
about that other goblin? How far away is that?
20 to here.
Okay. I am going to move up. I'm going to raise my shield first.
One
Move
action.
up with my raised shield up to that next goblin. The closer one, the one that's closest to the other goblins.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hit it with my sword.
Okay. Make the swing. With your dagger.
What?
With your dagger.
my
Your
dagger.
borrowed dagger.
What is a dagger's weapon bonus?
I mean, it does 1d4 damage.
Yes, but how much do I get?
I mean, nothing. You're proficient
That's
with it.
right,
You're
yeah.
trained.
So you get your.
It's a simple weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And that is a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. Not a crit though, huh?
No.
Darn.
14
I mean, they're
to
goblins, but
Sure.
They're armored goblins too. Their armor's crappy, but they have armor.
That is a 5 damage.
okay.
They
You
run up and go.
rush up with your dagger and make a powerful thrust forward, and you are almost certain that if this were your more familiar weapon, that you would have just like skewered this goblin straight
Ah.
through. As it is, you manage to sink the dagger in pretty deep under a rib, and it goes as sort of like greenish blood starts trickling out.
Oh, goblins. You can terrible.
And that's you done?
Yeah, that's all 3.
Okay.
Shield is raised.
Big goblin. Brrr. Whoop.
You're the short one.
Ivan provides flanking bonus. He's on the goblin side.
Is there any way to do this? Not really. Yeah, so what it'll do is, yeah, he'll end right here.
Okay, yeah.
This guy gets to scuttle.
I was
Scuttle again.
strategically stupid.
Oh wait, no, that guy actually doesn't. So he'll actually let this guy scuttle because he wants to disengage with Ivan. And then he is going to make his attack as the sort of bigger, beefier goblin.
Oh dear.
It's to make a swing.
Uh-oh.
that is a 22 to hit. Which will hit you, I assume. Tessa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is 7 slashing.
Oof.
And not as good, but 19 exactly to hit for 4 slashing. Okay. And finally, the loot goblin.
Oh no.
Will spend 1 action to inspire courage
Oh, fuck.
as he starts strumming his lute vigorously and going. "Bah, bah, 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 bah."
Oh, God.
Somehow this inspires them.
It inspires them. They are deeply inspired.
I am inspired too to shut him up.
And then he will cast a spell
Oh god.
with his other 2 actions. Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
As he reaches out toward the goblin that Ivan had stabbed and goes "Bah, bah," in this weirdly gentle tone, and you watch some of that goblin's wounds start to close as he casts a spell you recognize as Soothe and rolls a 1 on it, but still gets a +4 because Soothe is great. And that goblin is almost entirely healed from. That puts us that's the last of his actions. So we are back on Emmeline. What?
Plus 4, and you rolled a 1, that's 5, but I did 5 damage.
Oh, you are correct. For some reason I thought you did 6 damage. Okay, so yeah, it entirely heals the dagger wound.
Trying to give
Damn.
Tessie a way to back out of the predicament that she's in.
Yeah.
Emmeline will flank with the goblin that's furthest to the back. Well, she'll flank with Tessie on the goblin furthest to the back. And go in for lots of damages.
Okay.
Gonna stab him a whole bunch.
I was kind of stupid in how I set this up.
It's all good. You know, makes mistakes were made.
14 to hit.
On one of the little ones, that
Yes.
is not enough.
Even though he's flat-footed.
Oh, I lied. Being flat-footed, that is exactly enough.
Hey.
For some reason, I thought their AC was 17. It is not. It is 16.
So we will go d6 plus another d6. 7 plus 4. 11 damage on that. And,
Describe it if you would, please.
oh, it's already dead?
Yeah, it's a little goblin.
Oh, that might not take your kills this time.
Damn it, Tessie, this is why I moved up. As she moves around to flank and just kind of lunges through and
Right.
kind of offhandedly dispatches
Yeah.
it. With my final action, I will move forward to. I can move again as my final action.
Yeah, you have a
Yeah,
second.
I will
you can
move
make a
forward
second.
to engage with the heavy guy. Seeing if I can just draw
This side or this side?
closest to Tessie.
Okay,
I don't want to be seen.
sounds good.
If possible.
So yeah, you move up, you get this guy straight through the back in a very sort of like matter of fact, almost like workman-esque way. And he goes and just falls down without you even noticing. You just march onward,
Hey, Dave.
and you feel a distinctive prick on your right
Goblins are
arm.
sentient creatures,
Goblins are
Dave.
sentient creatures. You get one more bramble charge.
Oh, yeah. Just stacking them up, guys. It's gonna be real bad.
And that is your 3 actions, Amelie.
How far away am I from everybody?
Fairly far.
Yeah.
Got a bow?
No, remember?
Tragedy.
I
You
only
could
have
get-
my my fists.
You could get to here in 1 action.
How far away is that? Is that 30 or is that
25.
25? Yeah. So I'm gonna spend 1 action to do that,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna do flurry of blows on the big guy.
Sounds good. Okay.
14, 15? I think
Just
so. Yeah, 15.
15 is not enough. Roll the second one.
And that's -4, right?
Yes.
Alright, so -4 10. 19.
19 is enough.
Okay.
Please give me your D8.
And then no, well yeah, I have a +8 with my unarmed attack plus the band
Yeah.
on my arms.
Oh,
Cool,
plus Sherry's
that's
attack,
great.
plus 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus Sherry's. So you're actually doing a D8 plus 5.
Okay, D8 plus 5.
Yeah, I'll get Sherry's being inspired courage.
Yep. Sherry's got the Inspire going.
I
Got
actually
your
didn't add-
bands.
I didn't add any of my stuff, but I didn't get it. So.
11.
11 total? Okay.
Yes.
You get off a solid hit on him. And he makes this sort of weirdly squeaky, growly sound like.
Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. And I have one more hit, right? Because
Yeah.
it's my
Yep, that was
my
your
third
second
action.
So.
And
Yeah,
it's
one more.
not a flurry, so
Correct.
it's full.
No, it's you've still attacked twice this turn, so it's still at a -8.
-8. Damn. Okay. Oh shit. That's another 19.
Another 19?
Yes.
Really? With a -8? Ah.
Yeah, because I got I rolled an 18 and
Sure.
yeah.
Okay, so that hits again.
And that's D8 plus. Well, that would be a 20 because of Cherry's
Sure.
inspired.
Either
But yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So another D8 plus 5.
11.
11 again.
Yes.
Jeez.
I'm
Dude.
mad.
Yeah, you move in and execute this almost perfect sequence. You've trained it 100 times. The first one misses, mostly because you're not used to fighting goblins.
Mhm.
They're a little shorter than you're used to going for. But you go slash with the other two. And on the last one, it knocks the helmet clear off this guy.
Mhm.
And he goes down.
Bonk.
And then I'm gonna kick him. No, I'm kidding.
As a free action for this instance, you may kick his probably moldering corpse.
Nah, it's not worth it.
Nah, that's a bit dark.
It's a bit dark. I'm not
Monks
that
and
angry.
their
I'm pissed
goals.
off. I'm not that angry yet.
That puts us on Tessie.
So let me know if I can do this without hitting anyone in the party.
Sure.
Grim Tendrils is an area of a 30-foot line.
Right. What's its range?
Grim Tendrils just sounds.
Cold
Joyful.
spell.
Doesn't-
Doesn't say when, then it'll become
has the word
come
grin
from
in it,
immediately
right?
in front of you.
Okay.
So,
Oh, grim.
Can I get these guys without hitting anyone in the
It's
party?
grin. It's fine.
Honestly, Grim Tendrils.
yes, I believe you could start the line right here and go straight forward.
Yeah.
By the way, hideous laughter.
All right,
great
I
spell.
will do that. So she circles her hands, and these spines of dark energy emanate from her fingers and shoot out toward the two goblins.
And the effect, if you would read it for me, please.
I deal 2d4 negative damage
Okay.
and 1 persistent bleed damage to living creatures in the line. Each living creature in the line must attempt a fortitude save.
Uh-huh.
I just hope I'm not in your line. Damn.
And I already asked. So
Okay.
And the fortitude save is the saving throw.
Oh, and it's a basic saving throw?
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
They both fail.
One might
Deal
say
your
it's
2d4
grim.
negative.
So that is 4 damage.
4
I
damage.
would actually say it's.
And then they also get 1 additional persistent bleed damage.
Sure.
And she's gonna inspire courage again.
Right. And that has no other persistent effect other than...
No.
Okay.
And in the inspiring courage, she will be purposefully attempting to sing the song that whatever song the goblin is singing better.
So now Tessie's going.
You're
Oh,
assuming
God, it's
he's
Friday.
singing a song.
if he's not singing an actual recognizable song, she
He's
will
not singing a
make
recognizable
1 up.
Yes.
He's
in the
singing a
same-
goblin.
No, on the same tune.
You're assuming there's a tune.
So, You begin singing a song that sort of pulls the weird sounds that the goblin was making into what might be a tune.
Maybe. Everybody else gets -1 to their attack.
As your eruption of horrible darkness causes the smaller goblin to shriek again. And
Having a
then
bad day.
it moves to its turn, and it first takes 1 point of persistent damage. It was just a single point of persistent damage.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I guess at the end of its turn, it attempts to save from the persistent damage. It's gonna start running. Do me a favor. Stick him there.
Run away!
Scuttle. And seeing this, he makes a save and makes it. He is no longer being persistently damaged.
Oh man, he
Aw.
didn't bleed out.
Nope.
Darn.
The loot guy sort of looks around, realizes that his whole squad is dead, and
Cool.
dead or fleeing hilariously. And natural 20s the intelligence roll.
Oh, wow.
Smart
Nope.
goblin.
Nope.
Longshanks are cool. I like them a lot. I don't want to get stabbed to death.
Would you prefer to be squished?
I don't want to get squished.
Is it Ivan's turn?
Hey, wait, you're an orc?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is now Ivan's turn.
Is that all he does?
Yeah, yes.
Ivan will walk up to him and stab him.
Okay.
Oh no, why is it opposite Ivan's turn?
Sure, it's Ivan's turn.
Oh, fuck.
That's a 23.
Sure, that hits.
That's 4 damage.
Okay. I mean, it hurts. He goes, ah! He looks damaged.
He looks like he's been stabbed.
He looks damaged.
Does that end your turn?
Well, that was 2 actions, right?
Oh, no, you do have one more action, don't you? It's you.
Ivan actually will look at him and go, "Then run and you die."
Oh, fuck.
Stay and you
And
die.
we'll
Run
interrogate
and you
him.
die.
Sure.
That's 20.
Yeah, that succeeds.
I mean, you walked up and stabbed him, so yes.
Yes.
So, he's not dead, so go, run and you die.
It's like,
Stay and you die, but you don't need to know that.
oh.
Maybe.
Running is bad. Goblins have very short legs.
Da.
This other one is just kind of like, ah! As it disappears off into the distance. He does have short legs. Fast though. He starts just, without words anymore, just starts kind of like plucking what he thinks is a tune that would be pleasant for, non-goblins.
So, I am going
interestingly-
to.
You all find yourselves inspired courage.
I am going to. Are we out of rounds?
Okay.
I'm going
I
to.
mean, as long as
approach-
you guys are not planning to kill this goblin immediately.
I'm going to approach him, pull out a picture of the obsidian scale.
Mhm.
We're looking for this. Have you seen it?
No. I just play music.
Sense motive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would that be?
That would be perception.
Yeah.
Anyone who wishes to, maybe make a perception check.
20 total.
13.
Technically he doesn't just play music, but he's not strictly speaking lying.
He's the musical
That is not the thing. Is not having seen the scale is not the thing he's lying about.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Not having seen the scale is not what he's lying about. He seems to be trying to downplay what role he might have in goblin hierarchy, if such a thing exists.
Do you know who might have seen something like this?
Yeah, shaman maybe.
Where
Shaman
would I
seems like a
find
good
a
bet.
shaman?
Take us to shaman, and I will bandage your wounds.
Okay, I could handle that part myself, but
All right, then
yeah.
take us to shaman, or I kill you.
Okay. Sure. Shamans like Longshanks a lot. This will go great, guys.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Do not
Okay.
worry about us. Worry about shaman. Worry about yourself.
That's what I'm doing.
Good. Take us to shaman.
Okay.
Take out cloth.
All right.
Clean rapier.
I will clean mine. I will. How hurt are you? You are injured.
Pretty
duh.
badly.
Let me. I will shine my lantern on you. Inspect the wounds.
Sure.
I'm down to 5 hit points.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
probably.
Out of
Yeah,
20.
that is some bread
Oh,
red.
fuck.
So I
Makes
am
them
first.
more
I'm going to
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, I'm going to use
This is
treat
what
wounds on
cards
you.
are takes.
Yes.
Yep.
To be fair, I only would have been able to shrug off like 2 of those.
That is a 14 or 15, 16 treat wounds.
Sure. Heal 2d8.
You heal for 14 from that. I shine the lantern on you again. How injured is she?
That would take her almost a full.
I'm now 19 out of 23.
Okay,
So
so
it's
then
bad.
It's pretty great.
Good for now.
I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what it is, man. Probably wasn't important.
You mentioned Inspire Courage.
Oh, yeah. Does Inspire Courage give you AC or just attack and damage?
Just attack and damage,
Okay.
and saves against fear effects.
Okay.
And also the little Luke Goblin goes, oh. He pulls out a stick. He taps you with a stick,
Excuse you, sir?
and you heal for your last hit point.
The goblin healed her?
See, Longshanks are cool.
Good
Awesome,
goblin.
thank you.
Thank you.
Stick's done now. Sticks him like back in like this weird like burlap sack that he's got on his back.
He's helpful goblin. Helpful goblin is helpful.
That's a goblin who natural 20s his intelligence check.
You guys are not
Self-preservation
my
instincts activated.
This is a
Come
smart
along now.
goblin.
Take us to shaman.
Yeah, this is fine. Then he starts walking off with you guys in tow, quietly strumming on the lute as he goes. Oh no, pull out a flute and play this song. Sure, why not?
Oh my
This
god.
sort of
Here we
like
go.
hauntingly sad, like probably about to die song.
Yes, this will end badly.
Yes.
This
He's
will
a
very
multi-talented
end badly.
I play like 6 instruments.
And as you go along,
I haven't figured out a
as you go along, it takes you through the hills as they start to become sort of harder still to traverse. And it takes a little while. And as you go, the sun crosses further over in the sky, and you realize it's likely to start getting dark very shortly.
glowing regular white light color.
Red light? Okay.
Goblin, how much farther?
He stops and actually like looks at the party's legs and seems to try and do math on how fast longer legs would take you there. No, like 3 hours.
You guys traveled pretty far for.
We were gonna steal stuff
Bad
from the
idea.
Longshanks, but not you guys. You guys are too cool to steal from.
Oh, one thing
Thank
that I
you.
didn't mention because we just moved on.
Mhm.
I would have quickly checked the goblins, the dead goblins. Did they have? Their weapons were just horse choppers, right?
Yeah, just goblin
Okay,
horse.
and they didn't
choppers.
have anything interesting on them.
No, not
Okay.
particularly.
Do you want to risk waiting the night out or venturing forward?
Don't
when-
think so. I mean, would 3 hours put us into fatigue? Is it like late?
Wouldn't put you into fatigue, but it would definitely put you into darkness.
Okay, I go. I think is best. Take the rest of the day.
Second that notion.
I don't know if this would be like society or it might be survival or something. It might
Sure.
be thievery. Would I have some way of knowing that goblins probably can see in the dark?
You can roll society. They're humanoids, so you can identify qualities of goblins.
I'm very good at society. I'm moderately good at society. 14.
Goblins are fairly good at seeing in the dark.
As am I. And same with Ivan.
I have
That's a fair point.
this.
Yeah.
Hold up. Glowing bangles.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's
It might be dangerous to proceed in the dark when
We have
I
light.
Fair.
And I have low light vision, Emmeline.
I can see in the dark.
I have low light vision.
Dark does not bother me, but I understand does bother you. But we have light. We will
Okay.
keep lit.
It
It'll be
was a
dark in
matter
the
of
tunnel
concern.
anyway.
I will
Fair
protect you, Emmeline.
Can
If we go
look
into
out
a
for
mine,
myself.
it does not matter if light outside.
It never hurts to receive help, Emmeline.
It's like I don't know what to do with
I
this.
don't know if that is better than cousin. Actually, I don't.
I know it's like kind of oddly worse.
I've got some torches in my bag if we need some.
We have.
Oh, I
your
do
light,
too.
I have light.
I
We have torches.
We have
We will be
adventure
fine.
packs. Forgot about that.
So you're pressing on. Is the
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, let's continue.
General
Okay.
consensus.
Okay. Cool.
Screw us over, we'll kill you.
I'm just playing a lute.
I thought you were playing a flute.
Get over it.
He's playing both of them.
Now-
the lute is
now
like
it-
strapped to the
Now
flute.
it appears that he's pulled out a synthesizer.
Ghost sound. He actually has it
well,
prepared.
there-
It's on the list of
This is
spells
what he's playing.
this goblin has prepared.
He's playing a flute.
A flute, yes.
The ghost sounds like adding some percussion. He's got this clamp mechanism that holds the flute up here while he's playing.
He just has like the whole one-man band thing.
Turns out he's remarkably talented. He's just working on his thing. He only just started that last month.
And now I
He's trying to put himself through college, guys.
Goblin Bard.
New party.
The one-man band.
Oh yeah.
I had to double check just to be sure I was right. I was. Ghost sound is actually like in the bestiary on his list of prepared spells.
Yeah.
Yeah. New party member.
I don't think he's gonna want to accompany us in the future.
Join us or we kill you.
Jonathan, we've got a half work. We're pulling a module. It's all coming together.
So,
Moving on.
oh god. So, you travel as the sun sinks over the horizon, and you guys make your way through the hills. And you realize at this point that the actual like overland distance you're crossing is not that terribly far. You're only, you've since the fight you've only gone a handful of miles. The problem, of course, being that you're traveling it over very rolling terrain, meaning you're spending a lot of your time climbing uphill. And the goblin leads you along, just forlornly playing the entire time. And
Poor
I would
goblin.
like perception checks from your choice of two people.
I will perceive.
I will perceive.
That is
No
a
eyes of the
13.
gods.
That is 18.
Morgan rolled my total.
Okay.
D20 systems, yo.
Yeah.
Got some
Yeah.
randomness.
So,
It's 13 for me.
do this real quick. Oh, yeah. Amelie, as you're going along, you notice at one point a little bit of motion off in the distance. Not in the distance so much as at the crest of a hill for a second. And then there's a little bit more at another hill.
Stop.
Hmm?
I notice movement in the hills.
Draws weapons.
Takes fighting stance.
Sure.
I think we continue until we see where they are. They come at us, we kill them.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep a sharp eye on the hills.
So,
Okay.
I will have my shield just raised at all times.
Sure.
Question: the hills are fairly open in terrain. I'm assuming, like there's not
Yeah,
many
apart from
trees.
the fact that there are hills. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not trees growing here.
Yeah.
The soil is too rocky to support large plant life. Occasional, like, brush and stuff like that.
Question.
Yeah.
Do these things also have ghost sound?
How would you know?
Well, I was gonna ask if the hills were alive with the sound of music.
God damn it.
Currently, no more than the goblin in front of you is alive with the sound of ghost sounds.
I had to say it. I'm sorry, guys.
Did you, though?
You should
you?
be.
I did. Actually, what?
You should be.
So,
I'm not.
as you push on,
Real quick, I would like to change tactics and kind of follow out in the more shadowy ranges of the torches. 'Cause I can see them enough with low light vision.
Mhm.
I'd like to kind of stay in that area and move stealthily.
okay,
Question. With my roll, am I able to see how big they are?
not well enough.
Okay.
You guess
Just
they would
emotion.
probably be smallish, but they also might be something crouching.
Okay.
And as you push on, you have to slow down as Emmeline moves into a stealth tactic and Ivan moves to travel defensively.
Mm.
And you don't see any signs of movement getting closer just yet.
Just watching.
Yes.
I see.
And the lute-playing goblin bard, I guess we'll call him, starts looking around kind of concernedly
Look,
as he seems to have noticed something too. And as he goes, he plays a little bit louder and then says under his breath, "The Greys are going to see us.
So what?
The Greys."
What are the grays?
Never mind.
Goblin.
What are the grays?
If you don't know what they are, I can't describe them to you.
Do your best.
They're like me, but Greys.
I see.
Also really mean.
And
Should start being sneaky.
I feel they may have already seen us.
It definitely did.
Well then. we
Well, I
keep
am a
eye-
half orc.
Well then, we keep eye out. They come close.
Yes.
You see them first. Be alert.
Okay.
Can I continue on my roll, or should I make another one?
For right now, that roll's fine.
Okay.
You continue to be occasionally aware
Okay.
of little bits of movement here.
I am going to throw guidance on myself
Sure.
periodically. Just keep it up for when I need to roll a perception check.
Sure. you're sitting there, shield raised,
Yeah, just walk on.
muttering like every round. So you're basically you're moving at a third of your speed right now, because one action every round is spent raising your shield, one action is spent casting guidance, and one action is spent moving.
Okay, then I won't be casting guidance.
Okay.
If I literally need to stop and stand stock still to do it, then yeah, I'm not.
I mean, it's if you're using the action system,
Sure.
the distraction of casting guidance is slowing you by one action around.
It's kind of like walking forward in turtle formation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, then I won't, because I'm not gonna.
Okay. And as you move, let me get. You're watching the hills. You're distracted. Magic. You're stealthing. Tessie, you're the only one not currently distracted by something. Roll perception, please.
Hills have eyes.
19.
Okay. You see coming up at the edge of your torchlight this little collection of like
I'm sorry.
makeshift shelters. Literally like animal skins and pieces of like burlap tarping and stuff leaned on sticks like a lean-to.
Mm.
In a little circle around what looks like a fire pit that was extinguished not too long ago.
Okay.
There's still a tiny curl of smoke from it, but it was clearly extinguished quickly. It's some kind of little camp that was abandoned probably less than an hour ago. The only thing left in the camp is a single square cage.
Is it empty or
It is
full?
not.
It is full?
As you look in, there is a little form in the cage,
Fuck.
huddled in a corner.
What is
As it turns and looks up with eyes that reflect the torchlight,
Wait. No. Sorry, go ahead.
you see big elongated ears and green skin.
Well, it's not a great.
And that's where we'll stop for the evening.
Fuck you.
Caged goblins.
Does it have thorns?
You can't tell. It has reddish eyes, but that's from the light.
You
So
go a whole nother hour, Dave. You have time.
we don't, for reasons you'll understand at some point.
Oh, dear.
But
In 2 weeks from now.
thank you all
Schemes!
for joining us for this episode of Have Dice Will Save. Once again, next week we are going to be doing a D&D 5th edition one-shot led by Charlie because I will be far, far away. Tune in, though. It should be a good time. And in the meantime, thank you all once again, especially for your patience with my somewhat slow brain this weekend after working a bunch.
ADHD mode was in full engage. On
And
all
in-
of us.
In 2 weeks, we'll be back again with our normal Pathfinder adventure,
And
with
whatever the
hopefully
hell that was.
some extra surprises.
Oh, dear.
But until then, keep your friends close and your dice closer. Have a good night.